Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about 5 books that had a huge impact on my life. So there's a lot more that can be said about these 5 books than what I'm going to share in this video, but all I want to do in this video is just share what the books are, at least one thing I got out of each book, and how I think can also help you in your life, the way you think, and hopefully improve not only your life, but the people that you care about, the people that you interact with, and the community that you are a part of. The first book that really had a huge impact on my life that I'm going to share about today is the Bible. And this is the one book that I'm going to share a little bit more about because I know from personal experience that people have very strong opinions, very strong beliefs, and that these can both be positive and negative. So I just want to share a few takeaways that I think will be helpful for you, but also really has helped me. I think a couple of things that I think is helpful to keep in mind of why I think you also should read the Bible if you haven't done it before is based on a couple historical facts. And the first thing I think of is that in our Western society, a lot of our ethical values, our moral values, our legal system, a lot of our culture is based on the Judeo-christian ethos and Judeo-christian principles. So I think even from a really major historical viewpoint, I think it's good to just be familiar with the literature and to understand where a lot of our thinking, a lot of our culture, a lot of our belief system come from, and to read that for yourself. The second book that had a huge impact in my life was Mere Christianity, written by C.S. Lewis. And this book helped me to really understand logic and reasoning. And it helped me also to understand that, from my understanding, from my opinion, this idea of subjectivity in terms of what our postmodern world teaches, what the postmodern world believes, that everything is relative, I don't necessarily agree with. So to just give you one simple example, the author of the book, C.S. Lewis, says that Jesus is either Lord, liar, or lunatic. What he says is that based on the things that Jesus claimed about himself, there's only few options that we have. Either he was the one he claimed to be because of the things that he said, and there's no other historical figure that have claimed the things that he claimed, or he was a complete madman because no one walks around saying the things that he said, or he knew what he said was wrong, he knew the things that he said was just whatever, and he was a liar. And I think just simple reasoning like that to help me understand that there is truth, like things are either A or B, they're either black or white, and that you can't just take various historical evidences and documents and say, well, this is what the evidence says, but I'm going to make this conclusion that's not based on the rationale. So I feel like that book was really helpful for me to understand not only the Bible, not only what the teachings about, but also understand this idea of reasoning and logic. The third book that made a huge impact on my life is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. If you are in a dark spot, if you are in a place in your life you feel maybe hopeless, you feel despair, you feel that there's challenges all around, I highly recommend you read this book. Viktor Frankl was a Holocaust survivor who survived the Holocaust, and he made some mental observations of the prisoners and what made them survive. And he discovered that this idea of hope, call it faith, call it vision, call it having a goal, but something to look forward to, something you believe will happen, like having a future anchor of some sort, was absolutely essential to survival. And he has this whole logotherapy, I think so, logotherapy, I think it's called. Again, I have a whole nother video on this, so I'll put a link to that in the notes. Fourth one is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And it's not just a book about becoming wealthy, but I think it's a book about having a mindset that leads to improvement in your life, and having a mindset that leads to perseverance, that leads to dedication, having passion, having desire to accomplish things. It teaches so much about mindset, and it also teaches so much about our subconscious mind without really all the time specifically talking about the subconscious mind. And I think this book was so ahead of its time. The study of neuroscience and neuroplasticity is this fairly recent medical advancements within this field. And this book, I believe, was so ahead of its time in so many ways when it comes to how our mind works, and to find this one passion that once you have it, you become unstoppable. The last book that really impacted me was Are the Placebo by Dr. Joseph Dispenza. Essentially, the premise of the book is that this idea of the placebo effect, where they give you this pill and it's simply just a sugar pill, but they tell you that it's something that's going to heal whatever issue you're going through. And because you believe that this pill has their necessary ingredient, and the wonders and the amazing thing the mind does with that mind-body connection, because you believe that this pill had what you needed, and it's all documented. And I think it's super fascinating. Those are 5 books that has been super helpful to me. That was a quick intro for each of those books. Like I said, there's so much more that can be said about those books, but I recommend that you check them out for yourself. And if you have any thoughts, any feedbacks about those books, please leave them in the comments below. If you liked the video, please give a thumbs up. And any recommendations for books that you have, I would love to hear. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time.